everybody, and welcome to another episode of On Campus. We are here at Solano College Sports Network TV studio. My name is Josh Mojica, and joining me is Mason Flores. Mason, let's start off first with your journey here at Solano Community College. So you told me earlier that you've been here since last year.
Yeah.
So, how did you get here into Solano Community College, and what is your major?
So my major is sports journalism and communication. I mean, it's really just communications, but it was weird. It's a weird situation. I'm not gonna get into it, but I didn't even know this was a option. Like after I graduated, like I wanted to come here for marine biology. Like I was going to get my biology degree and transfer to a 4-year for marine biology because I was a pretty good student in high school.
Right.
3.5 GPA. I don't want to flex, but yeah, that's what my goal was until like I took AP Bio in my high school, my junior year, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Like it was harder than any conditioning I had to do, harder than any other class I had to do. It was just very difficult. It was like a sport. It took up all of my free time, and it was still the hardest class I've taken so far. And I've taken all types of stuff in Solano, but my very good friend told me about the broadcasting class and the professor because she knew the professor, Professor Pop, and shout out to Pop. I'll get into Pop later, but
Shout out to Greg Pop.
I was told about it and I was like, oh, I like sports. I like the broadcast. I always did it like in my head, like thinking about it, especially like when I was shooting around in basketball, I would like make up the scenarios in my mind and like do the broadcasting myself too. So I was like, yeah, I could do it. And then I came into the class and I loved it. The people, that's really what it comes down to is I say it time and time again, but the people really make this class. And it's a culture. It's a culture builder. I mean, you set the culture from the beginning, and the transition from the older guys like me, like now I'm a vet, but into the newer kids like you guys, and it was the same thing for me last year with the older guys. Last year we had this dude named Drew Kirby. He was a mentor of mine. Still holding. He's still here. We had this dude named Jaden. He was cool, and it's just like things like that. And I think that's really important to this class, and that's why I joined it because I thought it was cool. And now that's what my goal is in the future is to make a career out of it.
So, is there any specific? Is there any specific field on the sports media industry that you want to pursue?
I really don't want to go in. I personally don't. If I get in the industry, I want to be in the industry. Right. But my preference would be not to be on play-by-play. I don't really necessarily want to be in the broadcast booth. My goal is to be on talk shows. I think I have the personality to be in talk shows like First Take. First things first, all types of stuff. I want to give my takes out there and my opinions and show my personality like that because I feel like play-by-play is definitely the generic goal, but it's so much more than that, and I think that's why broadcasting has really opened my eyes because when you think of just broadcasting, you think of play-by-play and just being in the booth, but you can get a broadcasting degree and still be in those shows, and that's what I want to do, and I plan on getting in that way by being like in the technological areas like the TriCaster and the production stuff, the graphics and the cameras, and that's how you get in. That's how you start, and then eventually you move up, and that's my goal is to move up into the talk show space.
You want to be a studio host or a TV personality like Stephen A. Smith,
TV
Max Kellerman.
sure.
That's my goal, Max Kellerman. And then speaking of sports, Mason, did you play any sports like when you were in high school or any recreational sports?
I did. So I boxed my first, basically from when I was like big enough to walk, because boxing was really big on my Hispanic side, and I started from when I was like 3 years old all the way till I was like 9 or 10, and then that's when I boxed probably until I was 15.
Oh, okay.
But I learned about more sports, and I love more sports. I love football, watching football my whole life, but I didn't play it until later. But basketball is really like my sport. Like that's the sport that I think that I like playing more, but I like watching football more. But I started when I was 10 years old in basketball, 4th grade team, and then I played every year until senior year. So from fourth grade all the way to 12th grade, and it was fun. I mean, I liked playing. Even though it wasn't like I was just a shooter, I wasn't that good, but like I was on the teams, so it was like I was good enough to be on the teams. And I was not the star player ever really, except for like middle school. But yeah, I just love. That's how I was introduced to like loving sports is really like basketball and football.
It is really great to hear someone with the same passion like
Yeah.
who also loved the game of basketball
Yeah.
and then got into this industry. So yeah, let's talk about basketball first. So you said you played like high school,
Yeah.
right? So what is the biggest or most memorable moment that you had playing high school basketball?
Well, this is kind of a weird one that came up first, but my freshman year, it was like COVID, so like it was weird. Like the season, usually the season starts in winter, in like that in November. It's like tryouts are in November, and then you go into January and February.
Right.
But for my freshman year, it was hybrid COVID year, so 2020 we didn't do anything the first semester. Like we couldn't go to school yet. But then hybrid started in like March 2021, and then that's the same time that basketball started and football started. Like all the sports started at the same time that year, which was super crazy. And we we had a super small team, and we went to play Rodriguez actually.
Oh, okay.
And we lost by like 60 or something. We lost bad. And it's still to this day I think the worst loss in school history for Wood for basketball. Yeah, I went to Wesley Wood by the way, but yeah, it was the worst loss we've ever had in history, and that was the first memory that comes to mind because I remember like just being on the bench like, wow, this is crazy, because I didn't play that much that game,
right?
But I was kind of just laughing because the coach was so mad, and then eventually the coach was like so distraught that he was just on the bench like doing all types of stuff. Like he was so aggravated, and then we had to run a lot the next practice. But that's probably the most memorable thing. There's been a few times beating Vanden. The only times we've ever beaten Vanden was my freshman year and then my senior year. Yeah. And senior year, that was crazy. That was a crazy experience because Vanden's always the big bad wolf or whatever you can say for basically every sport. But basketball, they were definitely like the top dogs, and we beat them, and we made the playoffs senior year, so that was cool. That was probably the best memory, but the most memorable was definitely the 60-point loss.
Yeah, top dogs, but you guys are underdogs. And last thing, Mason, about basketball. Let's talk about current. So, do you still play basketball?
Yeah, I play. I like to play with friends in the studio. They know how I get down. And I coach. I'm really big into coaching. I coach AAU. That's actually my job. I ref too. Like I'm very involved in the sport of basketball. And I coach. Really, what's also improved my love of basketball is my brother. Like my brother has a real potential to go to the league. I know it sounds crazy, but he will. And he's so good, and helping him love the game really has like inspired me to keep doing in this field, because one day I get to be able to critique him on national television, you know, like he's in the NBA and he has a bad night, and I get to be Stephen A to him, you know what I mean? Like that's really what I want to do. And yeah, coaching is such a cool thing, getting to share my love of the game with the younger kids and teaching them how to get better. And then the AAU thing, it's a family thing. So like I'm like all their uncles, I'm like their brothers, like their older brother, because I'm like the youngest coach there. I'm 19 years old, but people don't really know that I'm 19 years old. I feel like I look older than that. But yeah, teaching them the game of basketball, and then I'm gonna do that all throughout until they're seniors in high school, if I don't get to the industry that I want. But I mean, I would still be involved in stuff, but yeah, that's what I'd love to do, coach basketball.
And finally, Mason, is there something that you want to say to, like you said earlier, young kids that want to pursue basketball, high school basketball, college, or even pro? Coming from a veteran who has experience in playing high school basketball and wants to pursue high school basketball, is there anything that you want to say to them, like advice you want to say as a veteran high school player?
Yeah, I think playing is a privilege, and people don't understand that. Is you have to have so many circumstances come your way, even because if you want to play if you're a young kid and you want to play high school basketball, you're gonna want to play NBA. Everybody who loves the game of basketball, at some point, or any sport. This goes for any sport. It's not just basketball. If you love a sport, you're gonna want to make the jump in the elite to the end to the professionals. It's a privilege to play. You got to have luck on your side. You need injury luck, like we talked about off camera and stuff. And you need coaches to fall your way. You need to put in the work though. You gotta be able to put in the work, and that's the same with everything. That's with us. It's the broadcasting field. We gotta put in the work. We gotta speak it into existence to get those things done. And you see all these stories about how people came up. I use LeBron as the example because he's the greatest basketball player of all time, the greatest athlete of all time, and one of the greatest humans of all time. But he came from nothing, and
Right.
there's no excuses for anybody that has the talent and the athleticism. You also have to have the good genetics too. But there's a 5'7" player in the NBA right now who plays for Chicago Bulls.
Oh yeah.
So like you can make it. But really it comes putting in the work is how you get to anywhere in life. So you can take that however you want, whether it be sports, medicine field, anything, medical field, wherever. But yeah, I think that's really important, is to put in the work.
And then Mason, final comments. First of all, I want to say that it is really great hearing someone who has almost the same story as you are. Like I said earlier, before sports broadcasting, I wanted to pursue a different a career for sports media industry, and same goes for you. You told me earlier that you wanted to pursue something about marine biology, but you said, you know what, I'm going to switch to sports broadcasting because this is something that I want to do. And also, another person who loves the game of basketball, so I commend you for that. Thank you for your story. And once again, my name is Josh Mojica, and alongside me is Mason Flores, and thank you for watching another episode of On Campus.